Welcome to everyone. Myself Shirisha, studying D3 in Ignite IS Institute. Let us see the extrajudicial killings topic relevance in our UPSE point of view. It is relevant in GS paper 2 and GS paper 4. In GS paper 2, it deals with the government policies and interventions, the judiciary and the Indian constitution. In GS paper 4, it is most relevant to the ethics, where in case study we can get with this topic. As we came to know, the topic extrajudicial killings is more relevant in ethics. So in answer writing, the prerequisite is the notes making. I have shared my notes in the link description. Now let us go into the contents of the topic. In this, we try to know about why this particular issue is in the news and followed by definition, need for such extrajudicial killings and challenges pertaining to it, the provisions which supports the extrajudicial killings, the judicial verdicts and the NHRC guidelines, followed by way forward. Let us see about first content of the topic, why it is in the news. Recently, Atiq's son, who is a gangster and ex-MLA of Allahabad constituency of UP, Atiq's son Asad Ahmad was killed in recent encounter by the UP police, and his associate Ghulam also killed in the encounter by the UP police. And let us see about the definition of extrajudicial killings. It means that it is a violence that is arrived out of law enforcement agencies without judicial authorization. The state performs extrajudicial killings in order to pertain to instant justice due to delay of the justice system in India. Emergence and evolution of the extrajudicial killings. It was started late 20th century, where the Mumbai police have encountered the underground criminals to resolve the rampant crime in the city. And it was followed by later many of the states, and according to the NHRC, it has registered 1082 fake encounters during the period of 2000 to 2017. And in all of these encounter cases, the UP state has tops with 44.5%, and other states followed by them are Andhra Pradesh, Jharkhand, Bihar, Manipur and Assam. But in these states, the fake encounters percentage is less than 6%. Let us see some of the data quoted by National Crime Bureau Records of India. According to the NCRB data, we can see fivefold rise in the pending cases of encounter killings from 2016-17 to 2021-22. As we see this graph, we can observe the cases of registering have increased until 2019, and then it has decreased in COVID time from 2019-20 to 2020 and 2021. Later it has been increased. And when we see about the convicted and resolved cases, the graph is been declining. And the pending cases are increasing in a drastic way. Let us see another map which shows about the encounter killing cases from 2016-17 to 2021-22. The highest number of cases are seen in states of Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh, Assam, Jammu and Haryana. Let us see about the reasons of rise in extrajudicial killings. First reason is out of political pressure. As we know that in order to get fame in a faster way from the public, the political leaders always pressurize the police to do encounters in order to get fame from the public. Recently we can see that UP CM, in front of the media, he has given a statement like, if you commit the crime, you are thrown out. Political leaders tend to do this due to fear of disclosure of their relations with the criminals. The other reason for the extrajudicial killings is killing instant promotions. As we know that the people are though it is morally incorrect to kill a person, public are supporting these police officers when they turn out to kill or encounter the criminals. So for getting instant promotions from the government, the police officers are going for extrajudicial killings. For instance, we can see as in the case of DZ Vanzara, he is convicted for the offence for fake encounter, but later after 5 years, the CBI report has said that he is acquitted from all the offences. After that incident, the Gujarat government has given him a post-retirement of DIG post. Next, other reason is the fear of personal life, as the higher officials are always surrounded by the criminals and they have the threat from the criminals due to their life and family. In order to overcome it, the police officials are going for the extrajudicial killings. The other reason is delay in justice delivery system. According to section 144 of CRPC, the maximum trial period should be below 8 months. But in India, it is nearly 3 years and a month taking to deal with a trial. Other reason is the public support. Here, although the extrajudicial killings are immoral and against the values of natural justice and social justice, the public are supporting the police officers who are encountering the criminals and they are treating them as heroes, and this is triggering the police officers to go for the encounters. The next element of the topic is need for the encounter killing. The act of self-defense. In order to avoid the threat from the criminal or so and so person who is threatening your life or property, you can go with the self-defense. You can cause death of the criminal in order to self-defend. As it is a provision even given for the normal people, the police officers who are dealing with the criminals day to day should also have the provision of self-defense. In order to protect themselves from the criminals, they need the provision of encounter killings. And threat to national security. As we know that the terrorists who are causing a lot of damage to the public life and also national security, in such situations the only options to curtail it to the police officers or the officials is the encounter killing. For example, the encounter killing of the terrorist involved in the 26/11 attacks. And the next element is on account of great loss of the state. If the criminal or the accused one is causing greater loss to the state, then the police official can go for the extrajudicial killings. For example, the Veerappan who is causing great loss to the state property, and the Tamil Nadu Special Task Force have conducted a Operation Cocoon to encounter the Veerappan and his associates. In such circumstances, encounter killing can be a possible option. The next element of the extrajudicial killings topic is the provisions that are in favor of the extrajudicial killings. The first one is section 46 of CRPC. It deals with how to arrest a criminal or a person who is accused. It tells about a person who is accused of getting a punishment of death penalty or life imprisonment, and he tries to evade from the arrest of the police or cause inconvenience to the police while arresting, then the police by any means can arrest that terrorist or a accused one. The other sections from section 96 to 106 of IPC deals with the self-defense. Section 96 of IPC says that in order to self-defend from the criminal, we can cause death to that person. And section 97 will deal about in which of the circumstances one can cause death to the threatening person. The instances are to defend body and property. To defend body and property from the theft, robbery, criminal act, we can cause death to that threatening person. And section 98 of IPC. It deals with the huge loss of property, then we can self-defend from the threatening person in the instances of when the threatening person is of unsound mind or he is intoxicated. Then such actions can be taken. And the other important section is section 100 of IPC. Here the circumstances where one can cause death to the other person to self defend, the instances are robbery, rape, firing on the home dwellings, and unnatural lust, kidnapping or abducting. Such that these provisions are in favor of the extrajudicial killings and to protect the lives of the people. The next element of the topic is challenges associated with the encounter killings. The first challenge is social issues. Let us see about what are the social issues due to the encounter killings. Victim's family. According to the Office of High Commissioner of Human Rights Commission, he observed that the police are reluctant to give the information to the victim's family about the encountering of the victim, and they are also forbidden to get the post-mortem reports. It is purely against the SC guidelines issued in the PUCL versus State of Maharashtra guidelines. And the next social issue is that the victim's family pertaining to the societal discrimination. In certain cases like fake encounters or other encounters, the victim is not given the chance of proving himself as an innocent. In such situations, whether he is a guilty person or not is not confined by the courts before he is dying. But although he is guilty or not, the family of the victim is facing the societal discrimination, accusing that person is a criminal. Another social issue is economic loss to the victim's family. If the victim is the sole breadwinner of the family, then the whole family is depending on the victim, then they will face the economic loss in order to sustain their further life. The constitutional issues. When we talk about the constitutional issues regarding encounter killings, the first one is it is against the Article 14. Article 14 deals with the equal protection of laws and equality before law, which implies the principle of rule of law. The three organs of the government, judiciary, executive and the legislative, should be abide by the constitutions. That is the rule of law. Here the law is supreme before all and equal to all. But in the case of victim of encounter killings, they are not giving chance to prove their innocence through judicial trials. Another constitutional issue is that it is against the Article 21 of the Constitution. It is the heart and soul of the Constitution where it guarantees right to life and personal liberty. This right cannot be taken away by the state even during the national emergency, but just because of the backup of the IPC sections 96 and 100 and also 46 section of CRPC, the core value and important article of Constitution, Article 21, is being violated to the victims of encounter killings. Let us discuss about the ethical issues pertaining with the encounter killings. The ethical issues are, it is against the virtue ethics, where the justice is the main virtue that any citizen or a people should have. The core idea of justice is being violated in this case. In the fake encounters, they are not giving justice to the victim of encounter killings, because they are not giving chance to the victim to prove his innocence by a fair trial method. So it is against the virtue ethics. And the other ethical issue is duty ethics and professional ethics. And other issue is duty and professional ethics. Due to political pressure, if a police officer go with the encounter killing, it is against his duty ethics and also professional ethics, and killing an innocent is a moral and ethical issue. When we talk about the utilitarian ethics, when victim is the sole bread earner of the family, we are causing injustice to the whole family of the victim by killing that person, where the utilitarian ethics is not being followed. When we are talking about the ethical issues concerned, there are more chances of getting this particular issue as a case study. When you encounter a case study, we need to first address the ethical issues involved in such activity, and then we should talk about the stakeholders involved, like the victim of encounter killing, the authority that conducted the encounter killing, and the orders from where he had get, the victim's family, and the societal role, and the investigation and the role of judiciary. Later, after writing the stakeholders, we need to discuss about the possible solutions to deal with such instances. While giving about the possible solutions, we need to quote about the Supreme Court guidelines and National Human Rights Committee guidelines to add marks to our answer. And also in between we need to incorporate the ethical terms and words and also key philosophies such as Kant duty based ethics and utilitarian ethics and so on. Other issues are international issues. As India is a signatory of Union Declaration of Human Rights, where India should protect and uphold the rights of humans at any circumstances. Article 10 of the UDHC talks about right to fair trial. It is an important right because the victim should be given sufficient time and also chances to prove his innocence by means of fair trial. And Article 11 of the Union Declaration of Human Rights talk about presumption of innocence, where until the victim is proven as guilty, he should be treated as an innocent. Other international concerns are regarding to United Nations Declaration of Human Rights. Another international issue is regarding about United Nations Human Rights Commission. As India is a signatory and pledged many ideas that we follow some ideologies regarding human rights protection and uphold the human rights. We should maintain proper standards, protect the human rights in all circumstances. Another element of the topic is the verdicts given by the Supreme Court regarding the extrajudicial killings. In Prakash Kadam versus Vishwanath Gupta 2011 case, in this case the Supreme Court given the verdict that extrajudicial killings are cold-blooded murders, and one who commit these murders or fake encounter should be given the punishment of death, and the extrajudicial killings should be used in rarest of rare cases. In another case, Om Prakash versus State of Jharkhand 2012, the extrajudicial killings were equated to the state-sponsored terrorism, and Supreme Court has held that it is not legal to go with extrajudicial killings as they are not in our legal system and criminal justice procedure of India. The other case about PUCL versus State of Maharashtra in 2004, it is a landmark judgment about the extrajudicial killings where Supreme Court has given 16 guidelines. Some of the important guidelines we need to mention are recording the criminal movements. Here we see about why the police officer had to kill the criminal or the accused person such that the all movements of criminal should be recorded in a proper manner. The FIR registration. According to this, the victim who is prone to extrajudicial killings, the evidences from the forensic department with the blood stains on the weapon used by the police officers, on the earth, hair strands and the DNA all should be collected and submitted to the near police station or investigating team. Independent investigation. It is necessary because if the police officers who are involved in the encounter is of the police station to deal with such incident should not be given the investigation. So an independent investigation agency should take over these issues. In this case, it was given to CID. Other important guidelines is that informing to the National Human Rights Commission or State Human Rights Commission, whichever the case. The next guideline is no rewards or promotion soon after the encounter. As we have seen that in case of Gujarat, the Vanjara has given the post-retirement promotion to the post of IG soon after the incident. So it should be avoided in order to reduce the fake encounters. The other guidelines set by the Supreme Court are the victim's family should be informed about the killings of the victim and they should have the fair chance to appeal the court if they are not satisfied with the police investigation, and compensation should be given to the victim's family based on the investigation report results, and the police officer who is charged of encounter due to his personal gains, disciplinary action should be taken against him and it is a punishable offence. A 6th monthly statement regarding the killings of encounter should be submitted by the state DG to the NHRC Commission. Let us look about the other guidelines given by the National Human Rights Commission. In 1997, Venkatachalaya was the chairperson of NHRC and the guidelines issued under his chairmanship are Register of FIR. Soon after the encounter has been happened, the FIR should be registered and all the details should be collected and it should be given to the Independent Investigation Office. After filing an FIR, it should be given to the independent office. The investigation should be given to the CID or to other police station when the same police station members are involved in the encounter, and compensation should be given to the victim's family who killed in an encounter. Later these NHRC guidelines are extended in 2010. The other important guidelines added are magisterial probe. It means a magisterial inquiry should be conducted by pertaining and inquiring into in detailed description of the evidences collected and reporting to the commission the evidences that has been collected, and the magisterial inquiry should be submitted to the commission, which consists of Superintendent of Police of District and Superior SP. And the second report should be given to the NHRC or SHRC, as may be the case, where it would scrutinize the inquiries and the report submitted by the SP of district and Superior SP Commission and also magisterial inquiry. As we have discussed and covered all the elements which are needed to write an answer for the mains with regards to the topic extrajudicial killings, let us end this topic with the way forward, which is very important element for the UPSE than other exams. In the way forward, we can see the measures like upholding constitutional morality by the state officials, as the state officials are under the government should have the constitutional morality in order to uphold the constitutional values, and establishment of fast track courts. In order to reduce the delay of the trial system and also delay in the justice being delivered, we need to have the fast track courts separately for the extrajudicial killings. And other important measure to be taken is judicial and police reforms. A certain type of guidelines and standards and skills should be provided to the police officers to deal with the dreadful situations regarding the encounters, and it should be avoided. The encounter should be avoided, and this should be taken place in rarest of the rare cases. As we have discussed and covered all the elements including the way forward, my presentation on extrajudicial killings is done. Thank you. Now I am concluding my presentation. We have discussed about the elements, how it is important to our UPSC preparation, the elements like why it is in the news. It should be used as an example to fetch more marks, and the definition, the emergence and evolution with some data and graphs, the reasons for the extrajudicial killings, need for encounter killing and provisions that support the encounter killing, challenges associated with this, and Supreme Court verdicts along with NHRC guidelines and way forward. This would give overall information about the extrajudicial killings, and we have also discussed about in detail ethical concerns, because it is the important topic in the case study. Thank you. I conclude it.